Hello, I'm Stephanie Quine with the weekly Law Report. Tonight, our first ever Women in Law Awards will be on in Melbourne. We'll be welcoming 42 finalists who have truly led by example in all areas of the profession, from private practice and pro bono to the bar and in-house. Tickets are still available at our website, but make sure you get in quick. You can follow us on Twitter for up-to-the-minute news tonight and look forward to complete coverage of the awards on Monday morning. Now for our top stories this week. A parliamentary inquiry in New South Wales is considering what to do with the partial murder defence of provocation. The inquiry was sparked by a recent case in Sydney in which a man slit his wife's throat because she reportedly threatened to leave the relationship and have him deported. The provocation defence meant the man received a minimum 6-year sentence for manslaughter. Dr. Danielle Tyson from Monash University's Department of Criminology explains that in provocation cases, the accused is able to shift partial blame to the victim by constructing her as having provoked her own demise. There are very few cases in which women have successfully used the defence. While it can unfairly discriminate against women, Tyson said the New South Wales inquiry must consider its options carefully.
If it retains provocation, it should amend it and restrict it so that it's less easy or straightforward for men who kill in the context of jealousy, anger and control to raise it. Or they should, if they abolish it, they need to make sure they have alternatives for example, for women, battered women who may be unable to successfully raise the complete defence of self-defence.
The inquiry will release its report next month. A legal academic has slammed claims that widespread social media coverage of Jill Meagher's death will prevent her alleged killer from getting a fair trial. Hugh Selby, an advocacy expert at Australian National University, said there's no evidence that social media is influencing jurors to such an extent that they can't bring an open mind to court. Adrian Bailey of Coburg is charged with the rape and murder of Meagher, who disappeared while walking home from a Melbourne bar last month. Victorian legal aid lawyer Helen Spowett has applied to ban internet material about Bailey on the basis it might damage her client's right to a fair trial. 4 panellists at last week's annual Tristan Jepson Memorial Foundation lecture agreed that law firms need to be more honest about their expectations of lawyers. Matthew Stutzel left Freehills last year to join KPMG as head of taxation. He claims he's much happier now and he has the freedom to set client expectations. Stutzel described his own struggle with depression, which in 2005 led to a suicide attempt. He painted a picture of life as a partner at Freehills, now Herbert Smith Freehills, where he worked for around 17 years, and said leaving the office at 9 p.m. was an early mark. John Colvin, the former CEO of Ashurst, said partners often agree to unrealistic timetables that are sometimes set by the client but more often are a partner's own making. A human rights barrister from the UK opened a childbirth and law forum in Parramatta last Friday. Elizabeth Prochaska spoke about the role of human rights law in improving maternity services around the world. Questions included what role do midwives and doctors have in protecting the unborn baby, and what legal rights do women have to choose how they give birth. Writer and social commentator Catherine Devenny, who emceed the conference, said there's a crisis in Australian birthing which sees women bullied, manipulated and lied to about birthing options. Prochaska will launch Birth Rights this year, an organisation devoted to promoting human rights in childbirth. Those are our top stories this week. You can find further coverage of those and more at our website. I really look forward to catching up with you at our Women in Law Awards tonight in Melbourne if you'll be there. And don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook and join in discussions on LinkedIn. I'll see you next week for more news in Australian legal business. I'm Stephanie Quine, thanks for watching.